Hi everybody and welcome back to Nellie and Ruth Designs. Well, we're going to continue working on the crossword puzzle collages. And if you remember, the last one was this whimsical, nostalgic, winter's snow much fun, jingle bells collage. And I'm going to continue with a winter theme. And because I just think it's really pretty. I love the colors of winter. Especially the Christmas season, the blues, the greens. And I've pulled some scraps, and I'll show you what they are. But first, I want to thank everybody for hanging out with me, and welcome to all of my new subscribers. I appreciate it greatly. Yeah, I'm just here to have fun and to show you how I collage and a few of my ideas. And hopefully you can take some of these ideas off of my table onto your pages, which would be just lovely. So we're going to get started on this. And these, again, these are just scraps. These are scraps of paper that I have had that have been cut down. This paper, actually, this was leftover. I used this in my last crossword puzzle collage. I'm really just trying to use up bits and pieces instead of putting them in a storage box and forgetting about them. So I have these two here. This is a leftover piece from the last collage, and I just made I guess you call these pennant. It's a pennant cut or a ribbon cut. So I thought I'd use that. I have some circles, punch circles that have been hanging around, sitting around for a long time. They were in with my ephemera. Then I pulled some pieces here from Tim Holtz, and I thought we could use these, incorporate these. And I don't really put too much stock into, what the ephemera has to say. I mostly look for shapes, and, these are all Christmas. And as long as they're red and green and they have something that says something about the season, they work for me. And then I have this little doobie-doo right there. I've got a 25, and I have Believe in Magic. And then I have this, I've got a little tree that kind of fell out of my box. So I thought, well, we can incorporate that somewhere. And then I have this sweet little bird here. And these are digitals. They come in a sheet. I don't know. Again, these are all, oh, here we go. Oh, no. These are all pieces. I have a book, so I can't always tell you where I got them or where they're from. I have a book here, 3-ring binder, and I have plastic pages in them. And I keep all of my digital ephemera in here. And if I use something and it gets cut up, I just kind of tuck it back in. So I don't always know. I know what goes together, but I don't know the shops, because once I cut something, it starts to disappear. I don't know if it's Feather Flare Art. Let's see, here we go, maybe over here. But again, I cut something, and it looks like I cut out the name. I did on both of these. So you can see why I can't always tell you. So it just says personal commercial use. It's not going to help you with that. I can't tell you where these came from unless I go back through my computer and I look at all of my files. This just says journal card, 3.5 by 5 inches. So there's no name on there. Let's see if there's anything else that goes with it with maybe something on it, and there isn't. But if you're interested in where I did get these images, I can go back for you. because they are really sweet. Really, really sweet images. So if you do, just leave a comment and I will go back and peruse and see what I can find. All right, so let's get, I just wanted to explain that because I am getting some comments where they do ask, could you please tell me where you're getting, where I can get these supplies? Like I did a scrapbook, a 12 by 12 scrapbook page, and I used scrapbooking paper from a company called scrapbook.com. And it was Simple Stories, My Mind's Eye. They don't even sell it anymore. A lot of the, especially if I'm doing scrapbooking, a lot of the papers and the chipboard pieces that I use and the embellishments, they're from 20 years ago. I have been scrapbooking since 1998. My boys were born in 98, and that's when I started scrapbooking. So I go way back. But you can always, if you see a paper that you like I would never be able to tell you what pack I got this paper out of, but scrapbook.com and a cherry on top, they have an awful lot of scrapbooking papers and embellishments and chipboard and stickers as well. Those are two really good online stores that you can go to and look for some of this stuff. I don't promote it because it's no longer available. So on this side here, I'm going to do a pretty simple collage. I really like this, these poinsettias. But then looking at it, I'm just going to flip this just to have some fun. And I think I had that like that. I would just like to see if maybe the stripes might work a little bit better. Because I do like I really like the poinsettias over there. But now that I've switched that, but I think I'm still gonna use the poinsettias. I think that's a little bit merrier. I think that's just a little prettier. And I don't know if I want to line this up. I could bring that down a little bit. Give that more of a border. I have an idea of what I want to do, but I haven't really played with it. But I also like the idea of having it offset up here. So I think I'm going to do that. So I hope everybody is well. It's very, very cold here. Let me tell you what day it is. Oh, I have my clock outside. Today is Friday. December, is it 11, 12, 13, 12, 13, 14, 15. Today's the 12th, right? Because I think Monday's the 15th because I've got to go to see my retina specialist. And it is cold. I had to go to the quarry. My boys and I had to go to the quarry this morning because because our quarry manager is going back to Mexico for 3 months to be with his family, and he is so excited. He has not been home since last March. And he has a little 5-year-old at home, and he has a 9-year-old son, and they are just, they can't wait for Daddy to get home. So I went out to say goodbye to him today. Gave him big hugs, big hugs. He's such a sweet guy. I just love him. And he'll be back in March, but he needs to spend time with his family. He usually goes home in July, and this year I told him he couldn't go home. I mean, I hated telling him that, but we really needed him in the quarry. And every other year he's gone home in July for 2 weeks, and I just told him he couldn't go this year. And I hated doing that. And he was so good about it. He goes, "No, I understand. Patrona," he calls me Patrona. It means, or he'll just call me Mrs. Hello, Mrs. He's so sweet. So he is off. He only worked till noon today. So he was all smiles, and I'm going to miss him, though. He's like family. He's been with us so many years. But he needs a lot of family time. He needs to go home and cash in on all that love he's missed. And then I got home today, and the poor girls, they are going nuts because it's been so cold. So I said, today I had to take them out. So I strapped on my snowshoes, and we went all around the property for a good snowshoe, and they ran and ran and ran. And then I had to shovel out where the propane tanks are, so they could get in and do a fill up when they come. Can't go out, can't just ever go out and have fun. There's always work involved. So, okay, so that is down, and this here I'm going to put up over here. Now, I think I'm going to have to trim that just a little bit. Okay, that'll be good. And that was it. I came in and we brought firewood in so we can have a nice fire tonight. I didn't sleep good at all last night. I don't know what was going on, but both my husband and I, we were awake constantly. It was like, you gotta be kidding me, we're awake again. And then I looked at the clock, it was 4 a.m. and I had to get up early to get ready to be to the quarry. And I woke up at 7:10 and flew out of bed because I knew I was running late. Okay, here we go. I wanted to put this over here. I'll wait on that. So over here, of course, I smudged that. I don't like that. No, I don't like that. Maybe I can put something up there. My hands, I think, were dirty. Probably from bringing in the firewood. We brought a ton of firewood in because it is cold. All right, so over here, I want to do something with these here. I've got this one here. And I actually wanted to put that right over there around there. However, I think what I'm going to do is I want to use some gold. So I'm going to use this here. This is the Brilliant Gold Mica. And I think before I do anything, I would like to add some gold to this. Now, I don't know if I want to add this gold or if I want to do my gold around the circles. Maybe I'll do my gold around the circles. And I think that would just add a little bit more shimmer and shine. So let me grab that in a paintbrush, and then they will have a chance to dry. All right, so I got the golden iridescent gold deep fine paint here. I'm going to put this over to the side, and I better get this. Wouldn't you know? Spam.
Call from toll-free call.
Yeah. I hate these spam calls.
Call from toll-free call.
Okie dokie. Let's get a nice little thing of gold around here. I hope everybody's doing well. I just can't get over, I said it before, I just can't get over how before you know it, Christmas is going to be here. Okay, so this one is done. I'm going to let this sit over here out of the way. Let's do this one here. This is something that you can also do if you don't feel like making anything, but you know that you use images, not images, because this is an image, but you use items like this in your journals or books. This is something that you can do just to, you can turn your TV on or your computer, whatever you do when you have to do things like this, and just, you know, do a dozen of them at a time. Set them to the side, let them dry. And then when it comes time to use them, they're all ready. So I'm going to have to let these dry. And then I have a little bit of extra paint left over. So now I'm going to want to look to see if there's anything that I want to Maybe I could put a tiny little bit on here just to use this up. Whoops, wrong side, Barbie. And that was just the right amount to clean that up. And then I'm going to, isn't that pretty? And then I'm going to let that one dry. All right, so everything is dry, I believe. I did have to dry it a little bit, little. So, and I washed my hands too, and put lotion on. My hands feel like cardboard. So I put that one there, like that. I thought about putting a little about doing something like this as well over here. I'd like to get a solid color of green in here. This is going to go over here, I think, like that. But I just feel it needs something over here, and maybe some washi tape. Let me get my Christmas. Get my stash of Christmas washi tape. I keep it in a big mason jar. And maybe I could work with some gold. So I don't want any of these reds. I'd like to find a green. But I've never had, there's a green tree with gold. I don't want that. I've never really found a green, a nice green washi for the holiday season. This is kind of pretty. Something like that. Maybe that gold there. I've got to start using some of this up. Otherwise, it's just going to, it's not going to be pretty when I do go to use some of it. So maybe I could use, I do like this, but I think this is more, and this is what I mean. When it gets old, it starts to, where's my paddle? Anybody see my paddle? I really need my paddle for this washi. Oh, here it is right here. It starts to rip and tear in places that are unimaginable. And this I may just have to sit sometime and figure out where the starting point is. So I'd love to know if you have some washi as well that does this on you. I think it's just because it's old, and this one is so pretty. Let me see if I can put it on this and get a piece of this. I do it like this because it has a tendency not to rip and tear. So I have that, but I want to see what one of these golds look like. I think that's a little too shiny in the way the light's hitting it, but I'm not crazy about that. That's a little too garish. And let's try this one. I don't like the golds on there. So I think maybe I will use this one here. I think I will use this one here. And I'm not even going to really put it over it. I'm just going to put it up above it. Okay. I think that might be just fine. Yeah, I think that's good. Put that there. And I want to put that in here. All right, so let's get this. Do it this way. Okay. Yeah, I didn't want the stripes going across in the other direction. So that one we can put there. This one I would like to put down here. And this one I wanted to try to put the wreath in here. I thought that might be kind of fun. But again, I know what I can do. I can put little gold dots on there because I do still want to use the other. And I want to put this 25 in there. Well, that was silly, wasn't I? I put that glue in a spot where it wasn't even touching. So the other thing I'd like to know from my viewers here that are watching this today, are you making December dailies, or do you not do that anymore? Are you just watching people that make them and maybe take some ideas, you know, for smaller art like Rolodex cards or ATCs? I'd like to know that as well. I just don't know if, because I don't watch a lot of journaling or junk journal videos, you know, people anymore. I don't know if it's still a thing, if it's really, really popular. So let me know, like on a scale of 1 to 10, is it still, you know, a number 10 out there in popularity world, or are people kind of getting over it and getting, you know, moving on to different things? Maybe, you know, a simpler style of art or something like that. I'm always curious about those things. Let's see. I feel like I need to show a little bit more green there. Let's see if I want to do this. I think if I just go like this. I'd like to put that Santa there, I think. I really want to use this. That might not fit over there. That might be kind of nice there. I didn't plan on putting that there. But again, now I feel like the green needs to have a little something. We need a little sparkle of red. I was going to put this. I wasn't going to put it there. What I was originally going to do, I was going to put this here like this. And then I was going to put, maybe I have to do it this way. Maybe I'll do it this way. And then I could put Santa on this side. And that would kind of, I think I'll do that. So let's get this done. I'm still thinking about over on this side here. So I think I'm going to just put a little bit of glue here. And get this Santa right on here like that. Okay. Okay. Then we will take this here. I haven't even sent my Christmas cards out yet. Only sending out a couple, but I just feel really behind this year. Very behind. All right. So we'll punch out here, which is odd. Oh, I guess it's just because that curls up. I don't know if I should put this here or not. Yeah, I just want a little bit of red in there. Yes, no. It covers up that compliments of the season. I think I'm going to not use that. That's kind of a little too bright. All right, so let's put this over here. You're probably wondering, and maybe you aren't, what I'm going to write in this one. Okay. All right, I'm going to put that there like that. So this side is done. And I'm going to go back over here. I don't know. I still feel, well, I think maybe I'll just do, I think I might just leave it like this. And I'll put some little gold pieces here and there. But I got everything else down. Put that there. Okay. And you can't really see the wreath on there, can you? We're going to have to do something about that. Okay. Let's put that right there like that. Okay. Just want to be careful of that gold, that I just don't smush it. All right. So now what I would like to do, this is where I would like to use some of this gold on here. And want to get a little scrap paper. I think I'll use this one over. I use this. Whoops, see how sometimes that comes out really fast. You don't even really have to squeeze it. All right. And usually there's a bubble. There is a bubble that comes out. So I think here I would like to, I would really like to add, I'm going to have to turn this. I'd like to add, I'm going to start up in the left-hand corner and work my way down and across because I don't want to, and I hope this adheres. This is actually kind of funky paper, the ink on it. So this is going to have to set. Kind of blobbed out. Okay, gold there. And then I'm going to put little bits of gold on here. And of course, I'm going to have to let this dry. Okay. And maybe I will, I don't want to do too much because I just don't want to make it look real gaudy. I was going to put some gold on here, but I'm afraid that this paper, that I printed on, it's not going to work really well. So I'm only going to do the little bit here and leave it. I'm going to let it dry. And then over here, this week's crossword puzzle saying is okay, so it's going to be winters, little, tree, singers. And then down here I put birds. Because how many birds, whether they be cardinals, there's so many winter birds, especially your cardinals. We still have chickadees in the winter. What else do we have? I used to feed the birds in the winter, and I stopped because too many mice were bringing the bird feed into the house, above the ceilings and in the walls and things like that. So I had to stop. We're way out in the country, and the mice love the bird seed that falls to the bottom. But winter just has so many beautiful birds, and it's lovely to go out on a clear, clear day, cold, crisp day, and they're in the trees and they're singing, and it's just a breath of fresh air. So that's it for this week. Winter's Little Tree Singers, birds. So that is this week's collage. I hope you enjoyed it. I want to thank everybody for sitting with me and helping me along decide what I want to do, how I want to do it, where I want to put items. And I hope this has inspired you and helped your collaging with either your glue books or your journals, scrapbook pages, or if you're participating in the crossword puzzle collaging along with me. And remember, it's hashtag 2023 CW Collage. And I keep that hashtag in my description, and you can click on that or go to it, and you can see all kinds of wonderful collage art that others, if they're on YouTube, are making. And there's a lot of gals on Instagram that participate, and they also use that hashtag, so you can go on Instagram as well and see their work. So again, I want to thank everyone for joining in. I hope you have a beautiful, beautiful day, depending on when you watch this. It could be a weekend, it could be a night. So whatever time of day or whatever day of the week you're watching it, I hope the following days after are joyful and happy. So I want to thank everybody and send great blessings and good collage crafting vibes. And I will see you in my next video. All right, everybody. Bye-bye.